How is everybody doing today? Of all days, it's cold outside, it's freezing, it's muggy. How's everybody doing today? So let me get this going. Marco, make sure my mic is up and working. Emily, DJ, Rogue Knox. Oh, my mic sounds muffled. Right. How about now? How does the mic sound now? How's it sounding now? All right, give me just a second. Give me just a second. Okay. Does it sound better now? Okay. So for some reason, Brit Brad, how you doing? David, a dose of rose, Nicole, just call me Hen, DJ, Rogue Knox, Michelle Johnson. So yes, yes. So a dose of rose. I have a question. Did you get my message earlier? Just making sure. Welcome to the channel. Okay, just making sure. All right, so today, yeah, when I opened up my living room window to talk to a neighbor before the live, uh, it was freezing. It was freezing, freezing cold. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to you later, bro. I'm closing this window. It is cold. Cane Corso. So we're going to be talking about, seasonal depression. So a certain member in the community suggested this, and I was, reading the basics on it, and I think it's a really good topic to talk about, especially knowing this time of the season. Joy, yes, just a wee bit nippy out. So I'm going to share screen. We're going to read a little bit out on it. And then I'm going to open up the panel because I'm pretty sure there's some people here that have struggled with seasonal depression or struggle with it now or have struggled with it in the past. Okay. Um, I struggle with it to a certain extent. It's 24 degrees here. That's what it says. But it's colder than that. Okay. It's colder than that. So I am going to share screen. We're going to go over SAD, which seasonal depression is actually seasonal affective disorder. But before I start, I like to do my daily ritual. I'd happily go back in the shake and bake machine right now. It was toasty in there. Bro, you're hilarious. So, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I talked to some people earlier today, but I just want to know how everybody else is doing. Tired? Well, it is past your bedtime, isn't it, Hen? So, just so everybody knows, Rose, the hated, how are you doing? Okay, I just want to get the banner up and running. It's good seeing you, Michelle. So, thumbs up, I guess. All right, let me get this up and running. Share screen. Seasonal affective disorder. So I got this website that we're going to share. It's from John Hopkins Medicine. Okay. So the brief summary, it says seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is a type of depression. It happens during certain seasons of the year, most often now, fall or winter. It is thought that shorter days and less daylight may trigger a chemical change in the brain, leading to symptoms of depression. Light therapy and antidepressants can help treat SAD. Okay. Who is at risk for SAD? SAD usually starts during adulthood. The risk of seasonal depression, just make it easier that way, increases with age. It's rare in people under age 20. Women are affected more often than men. You know what's wild, right? Rody Gal, how are you doing? It's good seeing you. So I've always been trying to understand seasonal depression. I understand the cold weather, getting dark early, not enough sun can be a brutal one. I believe that. I believe not enough sun. Yeah. So less sunlight and shorter days are thought to be linked to a chemical change in the brain and may be part of seasonal affective disorder. Sad. Melatonin and sleep related hormone also, okay, so someone also has been linked. Okay, all right. It's my eyes playing tricks on me. also has been linked to SAD. The body naturally makes more melatonin when it's dark. That's the reason why I'm tired so early. Echo Spikes, how are you doing? Smitty. So it's correct. The way I feel right now and how I've been feeling lately and being sleepy so early, and down in the dumps and probably getting sick doesn't help because I'm not out and about and I'm not doing things and I'm just stuck in a rut. So, and there's probably people in chat that agree. So, who here struggles with SAD? Because I'm just realizing a little bit about me too. You know, it's not major because I am out and about at night. So, the body naturally makes more melatonin when it's dark. So, when the days are shorter and darker, more melatonin is made. Interesting. Interesting. What are the symptoms of SAD? There are two types of SAD: fall onset. This is also called winter depression. Symptoms of depression begin in the late fall to early winter months and ease during the summer months. Spring onset. This is also called summer depression. Symptoms of depression being in late spring and early summer. This type is much less common. So, Hen, you struggle in the summer. So you're one of the less common cases. Auntie Haley, how are you doing? I love the sun. If I can lay out in the sun 24/7, I would. I would just sprawl out, take all the sun I can get. So, the following are the most common symptoms of SAD: increased sleep and daytime drowsiness, loss of interest and pleasure in activities formerly enjoyed, social withdrawal and increased sensitivity to rejection, irritability and anxiety, feelings of guilt and hopelessness, fatigue or low energy level. Well, during the wintertime, I got low energy level and I withdraw from social withdrawal. What time are we into this? 15 minutes? Okay. Decreased SEX drive, decreased ability to focus or concentrate, trouble thinking clearly, increased appetite, especially for sweets and carbohydrates, weight gain. I struggle with that, period. Physical problems, such as headaches. Symptoms tend to come back and then improve about the same time every year. The symptoms of SAD may look like Other mental health conditions. Always see a healthcare provider for diagnosis, which I agree with. That's good to know, Haunting Haley. Kiddos have that they're getting better. That's good that they're starting to get better. Yeah, Haunting Haley. This channel is I talk about mental health quite frequently on this channel. There are some days that I like to have a chill live and not talk about mental health, just talk about life and how's everybody doing. Um, but there are certain subjects that people struggle with. I'm looking into that, and I wonder the same thing, Michelle. Does anything in the article speak about the correlation between SAD and MDD, major depressive disorder? I'm gonna we're gonna be here together researching that. So I'm gonna look and see and do some research and see if they're connected. They could be, I don't know. It could be two different things. You could have both. You could have MDD and SAD. Who knows? This is the reason why they said, seek a professional healthcare provider for diagnosis. So, how is SAD diagnosed? Depression often happens with other conditions, such as heart disease or cancer. It also happens with other disorders. There we go, other disorders, like MDD, maybe, such as, well, that, such as substance use disorder or anxiety. Well, they say other disorders and then they just name two things. So it could be more than that. That's why they suggest seek professional help to see if they correlate with each other. For these reasons, early diagnosis and treatment is a key to recovery. A diagnosis of SAD may be made after a careful mental health exam and medical history done by a psychiatrist or other mental health professionals. Yes, Haunting Haley, I agree. I agree. Um, that's the reason why I created this channel to talk about mental health. This is the main reason why I created this channel. Is yeah, do I do a lot of talking when we talk about certain subjects? Do I do a lot of reading? Yes. But there are some days where I do a little bit of reading and it's short and quick. And then I just talk to you guys. I open the panel, I invite people to come up and we discuss, you know, what's going on, what they're going through, things of that sort. I like opening the panel and inviting people up because you never know what kind of conversation we're going to have. And I like the fact that I have a small number of people watching because I'm able to watch the chat and respond to you guys while I'm reading. Now, treatments for winter depression is, get a. So, my therapist, Thank you, Haunting Haley. Thank you very much. So I created this channel and I also have Discord. Okay. Um, Discord, when I'm not live, is a platform that I use to communicate with you guys on a personable level. We have chat in Discord where we do voice chat so we can communicate with each other and get to know each other better and become friends. That's what I'm seeing, Michelle. So I'm gonna SAD and MDD. Okay, so Michelle, okay, I'm pulling up. Yes, so you're right, Michelle. I'm gonna share this tab instead. This is gonna answer your question. Major depressive disorder with seasonal pattern or seasonal affective disorder. Okay. Major depressive disorder with seasonal pattern is a characterized by occurrence and remission of depressive disorders such as a particular season of the year. With seasonal pattern, during the past 2 years, contrarily, seasonal affective disorder is characterized by depressive episodes that occur annually at the same time with prominent atypical symptoms like hypersomnia, increased appetite, carbohydrate craving. It is still debated whether SAD and MDD-SP are similar or different entities. So what it's saying is you can have MDD-SP, which is a seasonal pattern, or you could have both. They still haven't figured that out. But I get where you're coming from, where the symptoms of SAD and are similar to MDD. Yes, yes. That's why they call it seasonal pattern. Okay, so we're gonna get back to different treatments, exposure to sunlight. So when the sun comes out, being near the window can help. Being near a window, having your blinds open, letting the sun shine through. Light therapy. So on Amazon, they actually sell certain lights for light therapy, and it helps people with SAD that are depressed during the winter months. And I guess Hen has to have the AC blasted so she can freeze during the summer months. Close all the curtains. I don't know. Psychotherapy, cognitive, behavioral, or interpersonal therapy helps change the disordered views you may have of yourself and the environment around you. It can help you improve interpersonal relationship skills and identifying things that cause you distress, as well as how you manage them. And then medication, but you have to seek medical professional help in order to figure that out. So So now this is where I open the panel and invite people to come up. Michelle, you're the one that suggested me to talk about seasonal depression. And this is the reason why I chose the topic. Well, Dose of Rose says I have to use the happy light regularly in the dark winter months. So it works for her. So let's take a trip. Give me just a second. I'm gonna pull up Amazon and we're gonna take a trip to Amazon. Okay. Let me go to we're gonna search sunlight for seasonal depression. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share screen. I'm going to share this. So if you go to Amazon, okay, they have it looks like a tablet, but it's just a light. They call it light therapy. So it gives the luminous of the sun. You know the strength of the sun, but you don't get the heat from it. And it's called a happy light. You have a happy light, you got light therapy lamp. So they have all different types of light therapy. So it gives off the type of light the sun would. So Michelle, the happy light, okay, that you see is as bright. It can be as bright as the sun, but you don't need to do it for a long period of time. Just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Yes, Echo Spice. Having a fireplace is such a luxury. You are correct. A fireplace is nice. So they have the bulbs. You can get the bulbs, which is called Everyday Sun. So you can buy sun-filled bulbs. You don't have to have the light here right in front of your face, but if you get the sun-filled bulbs, those work also. They also have a overhead lamp for light therapy. So you're not staring at it. It's above you like the sun would be. Yeah, dose of rose said it uses its use is only for a few minutes each time. It comes with instructions. Yeah, you can put the bulbs in a room you spend most of the time in. Yes. Yeah, I'd look into the bulbs. Yes. and they're only 33 bucks on Amazon. Yeah, so if you don't want that screen right in front of you, you could always get the bulbs. They're right above you, so you still get the light therapy. And when you turn the lights on and you get that light therapy, it it's like Debo, how are you doing? So light therapy, I need to buy one, and I might buy one. So everybody, so I'm not busy this weekend. So I will be live this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Um, so I got a busy week coming up. I get the weekend off. So does anybody want to come up on panel and hang out and talk? It's up to you guys. It's wide open. The panel is open for guests to come up because this is the part of the live that we talk about anything. It goes from all things serious to all things not so serious. Um, Jam and Jet, how are you doing? Yeah, I would look into the full spectrum bulbs. Yes. Thank you for coming up on panel the other day and hanging out with us, jamming. It was good to get to know you. That's good, Michelle. That's good. That's good, Michelle. So she's gonna decorate one of her rooms like she's at the beach. Walk into that room, you know, make sure your curtains are closed so you don't see this how dark it is. And just 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, hang out in that room. So you don't so it's not dark enough where you see outside and then all of a sudden your brain knows, let's create more melanin or not melanin, melatonin. Nicole, Debo Bebo, hello. You want to come up, Smitty? You're invited. Row the hated, you can come up. Panel's wide open. Smitty, I'm shy. Yeah, Ro, you can come up. You're invited. Smitty, Ro, you both can come up if you want to. Okay. So Debo's got a long day at work. I got an email, and I might look into it. I don't know. Um, the guy said I provide YouTube video, SEO, and promotion services. I don't know what that means. He's like, I've analyzed your YouTube channel and found some problems. Do you want to talk about it for a while? I don't know. Jammin' Jet is here. Hello, Jammin' Jet. Your volume is real low.
Yeah, I haven't said anything yet. How's that?
Oh. I'm sorry.
I was getting onto the YouTube. I didn't know to come up or not because talking about my depression, and anytime talking about myself, I become vulnerable.
Oh, we don't have to. We could talk about how your day was.
Oh no, I'm putting it out there. It isn't about being defensive or not being defensive.
Yeah.
It's how I feel when I speak about anything about myself. But my day was good. I had a meeting with the county, who they check up on how we're treating my son with cerebral palsy because it's very important.
Yep.
And that I'm the manager of his care.
That's good to know.
And he's vulnerable to many different kinds of neglect and abuse. So it's really important that his care is number one in my life.
Yep. Children come first.
It also reminds me of my relationship with my higher power.
Yep.
He relies on me like I rely on my higher power. So he relies on me to feed him his medications, his doctor's appointments, as I rely on my higher power to help me to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, hopefully not in girth, but in life, and learn from my experiences. It's I was thinking of whenever I think of depression, I think of I have more of a periodic depression, and I have to be.
It's here and there.
Yeah, and I have to be really come in tune when I feel off, but it's not to change my whole life. It's about to be aware of it and not afflict others when I'm depressed,
Yeah.
or not to fill myself to the point where it hurts so much that I don't feel my depression. But it's also acknowledging it, if that makes sense.
Being comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, but also being uncomfortable in my own self and being
Well,
okay with that. It's okay to be uncomfortable. I had to learn that for myself. If I don't know if I'm on the same wavelength as everybody else, or if I'm waving from a distance. Um, but it's okay to be uncomfortable. And
oh yes, and that's why I said you got to be comfortable in your own skin to be uncomfortable.
yes, I
So
totally
that's
agree.
why, yes, that's why I said you got to be comfortable in your own skin
Okay, I
because
misunderstood you. I didn't hear you, or I talked over you because I could be rude. So,
oh,
yeah,
if I could.
I learned how to be rude from Smitty. I love Smitty.
Yes, Echo Spite says it sounds a bit like my way of trying to live with depression. The darkness is a part of the whole.
Yeah, but we don't have to live in the darkness. We have to acknowledge the darkness, and then we have to work at finding maybe not a cure, but somehow to arrest the depression. How to? I remember when, I don't know. I was about 25, 26, and I realized that I was I was walking around in this depression. Like I was like deep into this inability to be intimate, and the inability to be vulnerable, and it had to do with my depression. Then I had to take a look at what was going on, and it started and stemmed back to my inner child. And what I did was, this might sound foolish, but it's something that I had to do. And thank God Smitty's here, because I don't care. And is that I took my room and I went out and bought all the Winnie the Pooh character dolls, and I turned my whole bed into a Winnie the Pooh room. And for somehow that just allowed me to be okay with being a child. It's like, for the longest time I lost the value of being childlike. I could be childish, but I didn't know how to be childlike, and being uh, um, okay with being okay, that you were just speaking of.
Yeah, that's so like part of me, right? Okay. So with me growing up, I grew up I had to grow up fast.
Same here.
So I didn't have a childhood.
Neither did I.
So
I can identify,
as I got older, the child in me came out.
but it came out childish, not childlike.
Um, correct, correct. Um, it's like I progressed backwards. Now I'm doing fine because I go to therapy and all this stuff like that. I don't, man, I will tell you, there was a part in my life that I acted so immature as a grown person. You know, I didn't act my age. Well, in some parts of me still don't act my age. I'm 42 years old. I'm not going to act 42 years old. Once you start acting your age,
Yeah, I don't even know what age is anymore. I'm 62, and I am younger now than when I was 19. And I quit drinking when I was 19, thank God. And as you're talking that, what's going through my mind is that there was a time when somebody would say a joke about me, and I would just lose it. I would go just completely bonkers.
oh,
And
I did
I
that
was not a
too.
guy to make fun of. I was not a guy who, um, I was unpredictable of my feelings and my emotions.
I was so for me as a child, I was bullied, and you would think, okay, he's a big dude. Who would bully him? Well, I wasn't always a big dude growing up. I didn't get this size from eating. Okay, I got this size from medication. This was I was very active. So I was very active. And then this medication kind of, how do I say it, made me less active throughout the years. And I started gaining weight throughout the years. And I went from 240 pounds to I am right now, I am 383. Okay. I used to be very healthy. Like people would look at me and like, man, you eat a lot. And I'm like, not really. Should I eat a lot? Yes. Do I eat like I'm supposed to? No. I nibble here and there. I eat a small meal a day. Um, and that's not healthy for you either because it stores your fat instead of burning the fat. Um, I'm self conscious when I look in the mirror. Um, yeah, yeah. So this is probably going to be the last time you guys see me cammed up for a while because I'm going to be making a transformation with me and myself. So the next time you see me come up on cam, you're going to see a whole new me. Okay. I'm starting to take charge of my health. So many years ago, my game plan was a few years ago, I was going to quit smoking, quit vaping, change the way I eat, and start working out. Well, I quit smoking, I quit vaping. Now I'm starting to change the way I eat, and I'm going to start working out. Oh, Brit.
Hello.
Hey, Brit.
Mm.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Doing just peachy. Nice to see you come up on panel.
Of course, of course. I told you. You asked me, I'll come up. That's no problem. You
So
know.
how are you doing?
Oh, same old, same old.
So
Nothing.
does seasonal do, does the change in seasons affect you mentally?
Oh my God, do it. I got depression that's permanent. It ain't left. It was supposed to leave a long time ago. It ain't left. It got its own house here. So hey, in my brain, I guess so. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, seasonal. I felt it more as a child. than I do as an adult. All because I think now I don't really care too much for Christmas. So it didn't bother me as an adult, but as a child, oh my God, the depression was bad. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too is that they put so much pressure for one day. All Christmas is one day,
Yeah.
and they bring it out to October. It's crazy about how they set us up for
Yeah.
failure with all this. Um,
They throw everything at you.
yeah, and they if you don't buy this, there's something wrong with you, and everybody's happy. And so if I'm not feeling okay, there's something wrong with me. And what do I need to do to feel okay? And if I eat this or eat that, if you say no to food, there's something wrong with you. It's crazy how the insanity of the whole holiday sets us up for the homecoming of depression.
Yeah, I think it's by design, you know. I know when you go east, you know, and how they celebrate it for a week to 2 weeks, you know, so it won't be thrown like all day. Like if you missed a day, hey, you got tomorrow. It's a celebration. You made it another year. That's normally what they focus on. Is that you made it another year, you know, and
I always thought Christmas was to be about family.
mhm.
Now it is more or less than family. It's about what you get.
Yeah, and
You
how much
know,
you paid.
yeah.
That's the
Oh, so and so got this new computer. Why did I just get clothes? Or my friend got Jordans. Why did I just get Adidas?
right.
It's all about one upping each other.
Yeah, it's always
Eh,
been like that.
lately it's been competitive, and I think we've fallen away from what
What
that's what it truly means.
right? What it really was about, but we ain't never going back to that. I mean, that's asking everybody to be Christian again. That's not happening. That's not happening. You know?
Consumerism. That's what Emily said. Consumerism.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
You
They're
know,
making big bucks off of this, and that's what it's gonna be.
what I'm trying to do is get people to understand that, family matters, mental health matters. You know, we don't like I talk about mental health because it's a stigma.
Right. It is.
You know, there's certain people that I follow
Hmm.
that would disagree with me. And I like to listen to what he has to say, and then I like to counter what he has to say. I haven't been able to have a conversation with him because he's too big of a name to have a conversation with. I'm this little guy, in the corner somewhere. I'd love
And
to
you're
have
not
a
though.
con.
You're not a little guy in the corner. You are Eddie. You're all things serious. That's
Well, yes,
yeah.
but
We
the
can't buy.
person,
One of the
the,
things that would happen to me growing up was I would buy into other people's messages, and when I do that, I would lose myself.
yes, that's the
And
reason
it's
why
okay
I
that somebody doesn't like me.
correct.
It's okay that um, if I attempt to speak with somebody and they choose not to speak with me, that's okay.
It is
They're
what it is.
allowed not to.
True.
Yeah.
Alma
I'm just kidding.
Carrera, Happy New
Please.
Year to you. Sorry for interrupting. It's just that certain people are coming in. I got to give them a shout out because I haven't seen them in a while.
No, you got to do it. You got to do it. There's no.
Yep. So, as I was saying, okay, is what I mean by a little guy in the corner, right? Is I don't mean that I'm a little guy. I don't mean that, you
Yeah.
know, it was a figure of speech. Okay.
Oh no, I understand, but I hear like you're
you
saying
know,
when I go to other station, other channels. They're oh yeah, I'm a little station. This guy's a big station. I think that we all
oh
are
no,
where
this
we're
guy
supposed to
doesn't
be.
even have YouTube. He doesn't have YouTube.
Who doesn't?
Andrew Tate.
Okay. Well,
That's
what?
who I would love to have a conversation with. Okay.
So how do
He
you get in touch
doesn't.
with him?
It's you
Impossible.
gotta be somebody.
Yeah, it's
No, but no,
impossible.
there's got to be a way that you can email him or
Nope.
No,
kind of
You
nope.
gotta
suggest
be
a box.
important. You gotta be important to grace to have him grace you. I
Yeah,
mean,
you gotta
that's
be
Andrew Tate.
Then
somebody.
he's not worth speaking with to me. I mean,
Well,
what?
to me, he is because I so some of the things he says I disagree with,
Hmm.
and I'd love to have that conversation and explain why I disagree with him.
What are some
Okay,
of the things you disagree with?
he doesn't talk about mental health. Okay,
But what do you disagree with?
well, so he basically just says men can get over anything. They can just get over it. You know what I'm
Now, get over
saying?
what? What are we talking about
That's
when we
from
say get over
in
with?
general,
What
just
in
in
general? What
general.
though? I mean,
Okay, say
I'm just
it-
asking questions. That's all.
I'm gonna
I'm
get
trying to
in
get it.
depth. Okay, I'm gonna get in depth. I was sexually abused as a child. Okay, all right. So when I say in general, telling men to get over things, you can't really do that. Okay, that there's certain things that a man can't get over. They have to fix the problem and get ahead of it, but you'll never get over it. Okay. That's why I said, in
But
general,
there are ways, healthy ways of dealing with it. There are
yes,
ways
that's why I said
of
therapy, talking about it.
reclaiming our inner child because it sounds as
If
you're
if
saying you're saying is that your inner child is damaged
No, it
and
was
you're
damaged.
attempting to repair it.
It was damaged a long time ago. That's the
Yeah,
reason
mine
why I
too.
said,
Mine too. I'm not
if I'm
yes,
disagreeing.
looking if I'm looking at it, I mean that this you guys.
yeah,
But if I'm looking at it through Andrew Tate's eyes, Andrew is um, spiritual, um, and he's looking at it as depression is just the devil. It's the devil playing games with your mind. If you know that you're not, like for an example, the church would, some priests would tell you, if you hear something in your mind tell you you're not good enough, that's bullshit. You're more than enough. And you
yeah,
have to be able to fight that demon back. And when you realize you can be able to fight that back, you realize who that enemy was in your head. It
yes,
wasn't like oh, you thought it was like something from the past. No, it actually is just a demon, the devil. And if I'm looking at it, if I'm thinking about how Andrew Tate will answer it, is gonna be like, you gotta know yourself very well and to be able to fight him back. That's it. That's how I'm thinking Andrew Tate would probably take that, because I
to,
don't think he would even have a
Yeah, but
conversation
I think
with mental health. I don't think
he's
he
allowed to
would.
think that, and I would never tell anybody the
I
right or wrong way of thinking.
hold on,
Go
Janet.
ahead.
I
I'm sorry.
agree with what you said, Britt. He wouldn't have a conversation about mental health.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to explain, I didn't mean to, go off the subject,
No,
but
sure.
there's um there's certain people in this world. Well, there's a lot, because mental health in general is a stigma. Just talking about it, having conversations about it, dealing with it,
Mhm.
we're looked at as somebody does something and it makes the national news, he's
Mhm.
mentally ill. Okay.
Mhm.
We don't sit there and say, okay, why did this happen? What was the root cause of it?
Mhm.
Okay. And trying to deal with that, because bullying bullying is a problem in this world. Okay. And certain places in life, when a child comes home and says, I'm depressed, the parent doesn't look into it and wonder why that child is depressed. Because, at home, life can be perfect, but outside of that home, life is a struggle,
Yeah.
and growing up, I grew up getting bullied. So I didn't really have a childhood. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to be a kid. I had to fight most of my life. I had to grow up because I didn't have a father. So, you, you know, just in general, some kids don't get to have that childhood and they're struggling and they are depressed. And sometimes those people do things and they're no longer here with us. Okay.
Yeah.
And the school system doesn't take it serious. Okay. You know, oh, it's just how kids act.
I think that schools have come a long way. I think there's a long way to go. Um, I mean, I know that the schools are including social workers in the school system, psychologists, and they're
You
readily available. But still, as you're saying, there's um, a fear about being different if they get caught going to the psychologist, the psychiatrist, or the social worker. So it makes it a challenge to get through um, that
Yeah.
wall that we put up.
I agree with you. When I was, growing up in the hood, um, as a black child, it is not cool to go to a psychiatrist at all. You're crazy immediately. You're gonna get the stigmatism that you're mentally retarded, you know. Or if you try to go to like a counselor and you're just asking for, just to talk to somebody, just to get, she will call the social worker. Well, the social worker now calls CPS. I'm like, they call in different things on your parents, and it's like, I just wanted to talk to you about, just really talk. And now you didn't brought all of this to my home, and now my mother's upset with me because it's like I'm not abusing my child. What the hell is going on? And it's like, so going to a counselor at school was like, no, it was a no-go. It was something that children even feared, because they was afraid that they were going to take the next step of trying to call social workers, and social workers going to call the CBS to come pick you up. It is the worst. It's the worst. So it's kind of like you just keep your emotions inside, and that's for boys and girls within the black community. I think the Hispanic go through the same thing. Just we just keep it inside, and it just get worse. It,
I have a question for you, Britt.
uh-huh.
Okay. Being from that community,
Mhm.
okay. You know, I didn't grow up as a black person, but I grew up with black people.
Mhm.
Okay. And I have a really good friend, Xavier.
Mhm.
And he was actually supposed to be my co-host. Like, this channel was supposed to be me and him,
Mhm.
okay, doing this channel together. And he just doesn't have the time. He's working and everything like that. But we were talking, and as a child, him growing up in the household, he would tell his mom that he was depressed.
Mhm.
And his mother came back at him and was like, "What do you got to be depressed about? You ain't got to pay no bills. You ain't got to
Mhm.
feed. You ain't got to worry about putting food on the table and all that stuff."
Right.
Now, is that normal? Does that
Yeah.
happen?
That does happen within the Black community. It did not happen to me, thank God. My mother understood that something is probably wrong for me to be depressed, and she needs to figure out what, like, she used to do a backtrack of things that maybe she didn't notice that I didn't do, and then she's probably like, that might be the issue right there. Let me sit down and talk. Now she would do that, but a lot of my depression would come from is the fact that my father was around, but he only came when he wanted to.
Yep.
So, and that really hurt me to death because I thought, well, he was there for my sister and everything for my sister. But when I came to this world, he just came here, came there, and then he just disappeared. He was a great father when he was around, but he sucked any other time. Like I didn't understand him. So my depression, she noticed what was part of him. And what she did was she stopped him from coming at all because she didn't want me to be hurt by him saying he's going to come and he doesn't come.
Yeah.
So that was her way of protecting me. But that is very, very, very common. I've heard a lot of parents would say, I would hear them say, even if you're not even their kid, they'll tell you, what are you depressed for? You ain't got, bills, nothing. Yeah, they'll say that. They'll say that. They don't have to even be your parent. They'll come at you
Yep.
like that, like you're not even human to them because you're not an
And,
adult.
and so I have a lady that wants to be a guest, and she's from the Black community,
Mm-hmm.
and she wants to help reach that community. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always wanted to reach that community because I have friends in that community and I grew up in that community. Um, I didn't grow up in that culture, but I grew up in the projects, being the only white guy in the projects.
Mm-hmm.
White family, to be honest, me, my mom, and my little brother for 7 years. And then I moved up here. And I didn't fit in. That's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there's going to be one day that one of the people in my community come up here and do a Q&A and like ask questions, about why I started this, what I've gone through, and people in chat will be able to ask questions on, you know, my life, you know what I'm saying, and sharing it with people,
Right.
that if I can conquer certain things, so can anybody else.
Right.
If I can thrive through it, you know,
But
I, I, I
reaching a community like the Black community, um, it's gonna be difficult and probably nearly impossible because you are white
yes,
and they are not. I don't care what they say. I think they're the racist group on this planet. But they're not going to listen to a white man, even if it's for the betterment of their life. They're not going to.
Yeah, Britt, that is um a really good point. I'm a Italian German Jew,
Mhm.
half Italian, half German Jew, and I worked as a social worker in the
Mhm.
penal system,
Mhm.
where my clients had to choose between going to prison, Rikers Island in New York, or going to this school called what was it called? It was called Phoenix Academy, and I had about 30 clients, and I don't think I had any. I had all black and Hispanics
Mhm.
in my group, and at first I had to allow them to be angry. I had to allow them to threaten to kill me. I had to allow them to become okay
Right.
with making the decision to come to this school. And it was challenging, um,
I bet.
but it came to a point where once they realized that I was genuine about helping them, they allowed me to help. There was a few that I thought they were conning me, but that's okay because you're not conning me, you're conning yourself.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. And they would say, you're part of the problem. And I would say, well, I can be a part of the problem, or if you allow me, I could be part of the solution. That's up to you.
Right.
And I can only do whatever you allow me. If you want me to help you, I can help you, but it's up to you. I I have tools to help fix you. My goal is to help you not to return to a place like this.
Right.
That's my goal. My goal is, if you choose to go to college, what can we do together? And we'd come up with a plan that you agree to, and we both will sign it. That, okay, this is doable, and it's small steps. You're
You
talking
see,
about hundreds of years of being beaten down.
I agree with you, but then they go home, and then you're not there anymore, and
Well, that's
and
where they
and that
after care. What I would do, I don't mean to interrupt you. What I would do is they would have my number where I'm at, and we would work together on an aftercare program where there's people like myself that would be in their community, real close to their home. And when I went back over their aftercares, I had someone living in the Bronx, and they want them to go to aftercare in Brooklyn. I barely can get them to meetings across the hallway, and you're asking them to go across 3 boroughs.
you
It
also
ain't
have to look
happening.
at you also have to look at the school. The
Oh
school
no!
gonna
The thing was,
go ahead.
they would write them down, and what I did was we would agree that, okay, this is 2 blocks from your home. Would that work for you? Okay. Um, I asked one guy, how come you're not going to college, man? You're passing all your classes. I watch you play basketball. You can probably get a scholarship to one of these schools. And he said, I didn't know I can go to college. And I would work with them on teaching them to do applications for college, because they're allowed to go
I'm
to
gonna
college.
tell you
They didn't know that. They thought they were in the hood and they had to stay in the hood.
I'm gonna tell you the best thing that you could have done to those black children, black boys, especially boys.
They were adolescents between 16 and
If they knew
19.
how to put concrete down, if they gain a skill, you help them for life. Putting them into college and getting debt for the rest of their life only made their life even harder. You know,
I didn't put them in the school though.
no. I'm just saying
I know what you're
if they
saying.
had
I'm
the
saying is
wit
that
that way.
if we were talking and college came up, and I would ask them, if you went to college, what direction would you go in college? What would you major in? And I would ask them, okay, if you're going to do this, we got to find a way to pay for this. and I would look for different grants. There's so much money just laying out there. Let's see if we can make this work for you, because I'd really like to see you to make it, provided this is what you want. If it's not, most important is that you don't come back to a place like this. Let's see if we can get you out of here. And we had some guys that they still contact me on Facebook and stuff. And this is like, I don't know, 2007 to 2010. I mean, and they're still in contact. And they show pictures of their family, and they have children now, and they moved to South Carolina, and they moved in with a healthy family member, and they got away from where they were. And
see, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it with that child. That person still didn't deal with their demon. Their demon is just hiding and waiting to strike. You know what I mean? They still haven't dealt with the depression at all. They would now. It looks good on picture, but inside, is it really good?
We had psychiatrists, we had psychologists, we had diagnosis of each person, and we worked with the diagnosis and we worked with the psychologist to make sure that they were getting healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually. But like you're saying, is so true, is that the little step.
Yeah.
That's the most important part, is that they take that little step. Like, I quit drinking and drugging at the age of 19. I should have been dead. But for some reason, God chose to save my life. And when I quit drinking, I had to learn to fill that void inside my soul with healthy things. And I had to choose the way that was right for me, not for anybody else. And when things happened, for the better or for the worse, I had to take responsibility for my actions. I had, I had to be responsible. If there was no longer an excuse to afflict others with my feelings. Mm-hmm. There's no right or wrong way of feeling, but the way I express myself makes me right or wrong. And if I'm afflicting you with my feelings, my emotions, I'm wrong. I had to learn to.
I get what you're saying, but
yes,
when we're going like, okay, so I'm just gonna pick an area.
Go for
it. And you tell me how you would work with this. Okay. So say we're in Chicago.
Let's do. We'll do a role model. We'll do a role.
We're in the Chicago O Block. Okay? These kids, they're going to school, perfect A students, but they realize that their enemy is across the street from them. And this is what Trump saw, that their enemy is literally across the street from them. So if they was caught at the bus stop, like Tuka was, shot, bullet holes in his body to this day. That boy was 14 years old. He was on his way to school, shot. Then you got this generation coming up that's like, well, we want to kill those guys that actually killed this guy. You see what I'm saying? So these kids are now they're not going to school because school has become a prison to them. It become a prison to them because your enemy can be in that same school and start shooting up the school. So you don't want to be in a closed environment. So these kids now they're not going to school at all. Now they're learning to shoot. Now they're becoming killers because they have to, due to the fact that their enemy are across the street from them. How would you go up to them and step to them when in their mind they have to fight? How would you approach these kids that are out there having to do that?
Okay. I approached the ones. Mm-hmm. First, there's got to be some kind of interaction, some kind of somehow something takes place and they're sitting in front of me. Like when I worked in the rehab, I worked in the detox. Something occurred, they show up, and
All right, remember, these are places, though. These are closed doors. They
yeah,
can
I
get
know,
hurt.
I understand.
They can get hurt if
The
they go
object
through a
is,
closed door.
the problem is that recovery is the exception to the rule. I understand that.
Mhm.
It's not the rule that someone's going to get better.
Yes.
The exception. So I have to meet them where they're at somehow by talking to them, by
Yeah.
finding some commonality or even some difference, and allow them.
And that's where we're at now. That's exactly where you're saying how we got to meet them that way. This is where we're at now.
That's where I was at then. And then
These kids they know that they're psychopaths. They know they're mentally gone. They know it. They know it.
But
And there's
some
nothing
of
you
them
can do
are
to bring
still,
them
they're
back.
looking, like when they would come in, I mean, I would see exactly what you're saying. I would see a counselor yelling at this young black man, and I would go down there and say, hey, look, why don't you come with me? And I would talk to the counselor later on and say, you can't, why are you yelling at somebody? As soon as you raise your voice, they no longer hear you. They could go hear that outside. And I would take them in my office and we'd find out what was going on. And sometimes it was just that they wanted their medication and the counselor wouldn't listen to them. Or,
yeah, that happens a lot.
What's that?
I said that happens a lot.
I know. Yeah. So my job, I remember one time I was. Yes.
We gotta get to a stopping point. Okay.
Okay. Whatever. I'm sorry if I took up a lot of time.
No, it's not. And certain subjects need to be talked about. And I think I would like to schedule a live where I have a couple of people on panel to talk about this, because it's very important. It's very important to me, to be honest.
Can I ask you, instead of looking for Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson would probably be the best.
I like Jordan Peterson.
Yes, Jordan Peterson will probably be the best in this situation.
I would have to try to reach out to him.
Andrew Tate is like, he's too cocky to see.
Yes, that's the reason why. I
love him, but he's too cocky to see anything.
Yeah.
But Jordan Peterson sees everything. You know, he's a psychologist. So, he might be easier to get in touch with if you need to. Like if you can sign a petition or something, or get your people to sign a petition, I'll help you sign one, you know, to see if we can get his attention. Even though it's a small channel, he's still needed, and maybe he will come, you know, and have the conversation. That would be really, really cool. So like if you just think of a way or something like that, I'm with you.
If we reach one person, look at the generations after that we have saved.
Yes.
So sometimes I understand I can't catch the masses, but I have to meet whoever's right in front of me. Those are the most important people.
Even somebody just hearing from someone that has gone through what they've gone through is what matters.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. That it's okay that you can survive.
Yes. So I have to end it here. I have some things I have to take care of. I got a message from my mother. I have to take care of a few things.
But I'm going to see if I can do on my end, see if there's an email to get to Jordan Peterson.
Yes, I would love to have Jordan
Peterson. I'll ask or beg him to try to see if he can grace your panel.
Hey, I want to thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry that I went offline.
No, you good. Everything's good.
This is the part of the channel where we go off the rails, okay? And sometimes we have interesting conversations, and sometimes they can get a little heated once in a while.
Of course.
Hopefully we didn't get heated, did we?
No,
Brett?
Nah.
We gotta
I'm
opening
saying
the communication. Sometimes we got to
Yes.
start somewhere.
yes. What I'm saying in how do I explain it? What I mean by heated, I don't mean it in a negative way.
Emotional.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because we all come from different environments.
and
We're
it's
all
also
human.
important. It's important to each of us, the subject. So we do get heated. The heated is the emotional caring
Right.
of finding a solution or being
It's
part of the
actually
solution.
it means give a shit. You actually
Yes.
give a shit.
Yes,
Because every day I'm either part of the problem or part of the solution. And that's the decision I have to make when I wake up.
Yeah.
yeah. Echo Spike said it right. Heated is fine as long as we keep listening to each other, and
Yeah.
that's what matters.
Exactly.
I take what Brit Rat was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I call her Brit. What she was saying, I can understand where she was coming from
Yeah.
very, very much, because
Oh yeah. It's very important to get it.
I am a nightclub bouncer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
I'm
cool.
around types of those type of people once in a while, and I understand their mentality because they're always on the defense,
Mm-hmm.
never on the offense.
Always on the defense.
Okay. So trying to get them comfortable is a difficult thing. That's the reason why
Yeah.
I'm a hugger. I hug everybody. You know, thing is what people don't realize is a lot of people out there that don't get hugs. Okay.
Right.
And don't know how comfortable a hug is. Okay. And
I used to have a saying when I went to a lot of AA meetings. I think I'll start it again because I've been meaning to get back to meetings. Is that if nobody has told you they loved you, let me be the first today. If nobody told you they loved you today, let me be the first.
All
And
things instead of also hugging, just hugging them.
yeah,
Tell them
that's
to
it.
cry. Tell them to cry. Get it out. Cry.
Well, I don't
crying's
tell them
okay.
that when they're in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you know, if you see just randomly see a like if you see a young man that's just standing there, just tell him, cry, young man, because he's holding back, and he don't even realize he's holding back,
Yeah.
and you might get the reception like that you never thought you were gonna get. Like he starts to cry. Now he trusts you because you cared enough.
But now you got to be ready to. You got to be prepared if he does cry on how to
Jam and
Help
Jet,
him mentally.
I will tell you this. I'm a street counselor. So I'm
Okay.
not a
What?
licensed
Yeah.
therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor, but I'm from the streets.
Mhm.
So I know how to communicate.
Mhm.
I'm not
That's-
saying you don't.
Yeah, that's the reason why I started this channel. It's because I want other men to see another man being vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay, because if another grown man can be vulnerable and talk about what he struggles with,
Right.
then it's showing other men it's okay to struggle.
Yes, sir.
And
It's
you can
okay
survive
to-
through the struggle.
You know, it's okay to accept that you need help. It's
Yes.
okay that,
To ask for help.
yes.
Right.
So I want to thank you guys for coming up here.
I want to thank you for having me
so
up here.
much.
Yes. And you guys are
And-
always welcome.
Anytime
So-
you want me on the panel, just say, "Hey, Britt, come up," or I'll
Yeah.
come up.
So
Great channel, Eddie. Keep it up, man. I really
You have
I
a good
believe
night.
that you're touching people. Thank you.
Yes.
Good
Hey,
night.
Brit Brad, I'll
Huh?
send you an invite to All Things Serious' Discord.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
you guys have a good night,
You
Good
and
night.
too.
thank you for coming up. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Um, you guys are an amazing community. Echo Spice, thank you for making an appearance. Michelle Johnson, I'm glad to see you made it to this live. Britt Brad, thank you for being here. Jam and Jet, for those of you who are still here, thank you guys for watching. But my next stream will be tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. My 12-hour stream will be on the 13th. So I'm getting myself prepared for the 12-hour stream. So we're just gonna music. I'm gonna be reacting to a lot of mental health music. I'm not gonna keep the stream up, but it's just gonna be a 12-hour stream. So I would like to say good night, everyone, and I will see you guys in Discord for a little bit. And All Things Serious out.